Hello and welcome to another Student StarCraft AI Tournament Weekly broadcast. This is Nightcat and I will be your host for this week. We have some recommended games off the Discord that we're going to be taking a look at here. The first one is with Zerg spawning as the purple Zerg over on the left side of Moonglaive, and over on the right side we have Insanity Bot spawning as the yellow Terran. So Zerg is one of the bots that I mentioned in the last cast's free-for-all. Is a newer bot that was added after the tournament, the actual tournament concluded. So it's a bot that I wrote in about 8 hours. A little bit more because there was like a post 8-hour bug that I was like, okay, that's got to be fixed because that's kind of bad. But generally, it was built with the idea of Marine Hell in mind. That's the name, Zerg Hell. Where it's like, let's see what can be done with no libraries and in a short amount of time. It is available, the code is available on GitHub, so if you want to check it out, you can do so there. The link to that code is in its description on the SSCAIT website. As for this game, what we are seeing so far here, Insanity Bot going ahead and getting its first supply depot here. Actually, I'll go up to 2x. It's getting used to casting human games where it's you watch 1x. I was like, I'm thinking like, oh, this is going kind of slow. Like, no, wait. We usually watch these on at least 2x. So we're back at it now. Then Zerg going out with a scout now. So Zerg so like Marine Hell focuses on just getting a bunch of Marines. Zerg however, will go ahead and actually focus on Hydralisks. But it gets a few, just like Marine Hell gets a bunker for defense, it goes ahead and gets a few Sunkens for defense as well. One of probably the big failings of Zerg is the fact that it won't expand, so it will just do this off of one base, this sort of mass Hydralisk and attack play. Probably could be stronger if it did expand, and here it does find the the Insanity Bot base, and goes ahead. This is the scout, but now it knows where its opponent is. But yeah, one base, you are a little bit limited in what you're able to do. The Hydralisk then going down. The Sunkens are actually in a relatively nice position here this game. Insanity Bot going ahead and getting 2 barracks right now. No gas yet. It is throwing down the engineering bay. And it is just starting to get its gas now. Looks like Zerg is still droning up at the moment. Going ahead and starting a macro hatchery now. Turrets started up for Insanity Bot. Oh, okay, there they are, over by the command center here. So both bots seem to be of the type to kind of just sit back in their own base and get their build going. Medics coming out now for Insanity Bot. I'm watching to see if or when a factory goes in and gets placed. Okay, now we have the Hydralisk production starting up for Zerg here. Insanity Bot looks to be moving down to go ahead and take its natural. Based on how it is positioning the army, going ahead and throwing a bunker down before the command center actually, which is pretty cool to see. That it's planning ahead, it's throwing down its defenses. Factory is on the way, command center is now on the way down there at the natural as well, and taking the gas too at the same time here. Looks like we've got another macro hatchery coming down for Zerg. Take a look at the upgrades here real quick. Range is done. Stim is under research, yes. Stim and range are done for the Marines. Weapons +1 is done. The Hydralisks have speed and range, and Overlord speed is currently being researched. But there's no Evo chamber, so there's not going to be any attack or armor upgrades for Zerg. Hydralisk production is going pretty strong here. Now we've got turns. We did have a scan go down. Not, yeah, it must have been in the main of Zerg Hell, given the way the Hydralisks appear to have reacted to the scan. Scans show up as units to AIs, and so if you don't like special case for them, then you may have a reaction to a scan appearing in your base. I like the number of barracks that are coming down here for Insanity Bot. And it looks like Insanity Bot's going to go ahead and try to move out with a pretty small force here. Supplies right now, 84 to 54. Oh, and it looks like Zerg Hell is going to come out too. It's actually going to meet at the natural of Zerg Hell. The Hydras, they're going to clean that force up pretty well. But now this engagement, Insanity Bot has the high ground to its advantage, but looks like Zerg Hell will fight through that particular wave. Now there is the bunker and defender's advantage here for Insanity Bot. Now I think this is just going to be able to hold their ghosts out now. Insanity Bot just able to hold back that wave. Hydralisks, a few streaming in still. Science facility, or science vessels out on the field now along with the ghosts, and we have a nuke coming out. So that might be, the nuke might be why this game was recommended here. Interesting too that Insanity Bot is staying just on 2 bases as well, so both of the AIs here are playing a pretty low base count style game. Ghost runs in there, but doesn't quite. Oh, very nice. Goes ahead and blinds the Overlord, and we'll go ahead back to 1x speed for this here. Those Hydralisks just gone. More blinds going down, but targeting the same Overlord. This I think was actually that Overlord maybe not already blinded, but. More blinds going down on Overlords. I like the use of it. Optic Flare with the Ghost Nuke. Very, very cool to see. Insanity Bot at 124 of 124 here. Goes in and gets a depot and then quickly lines up more Marines out of the barracks. They were very, very cool to see. I like the, I really like the blind with the ghost then, because Zerg Hell doesn't take into account, well, what if the detector I want to use is blind, right? Which is a consideration that should be done, and maybe a lot of AIs don't have that because optical flare is generally not used in human play, nor is it used much in AI play. So very, very cool to see. Nice first game to get us warmed up here. Let's get into our next game. So our second recommended game here has us watching Purple Wave spawning as the yellow Protoss up at the top of Destination, and down at the bottom of the map we have monsters spawning as the green Zerg down at the bottom. So this one, there wasn't really any comment to the recommendation, but I did see some notes from the author of Purple Wave regarding a bug in Purple Wave that does something like prevent it from getting upgrades or something along that line, so that may be why this game was shared, but we'll go ahead and check out what goes on in this. So we have the first gateway coming down for Purple Wave, so it's going to be a 1 base play, no sort of fast expand here. We do have a pool. I'm not sure if that was over pool or 9 pool. I think that was over pool, given the second Overlord is done, or was done at the time that it was. Second gate coming down, so we are seeing 2 gate from Purple Wave. The scouts are going by, taking I think they took different bridges there. Now we have a hatchery coming down for monster. A couple pairs of Zerglings on the way, rather, and a third pair just started up. So, or actually, no, sorry, that was just the 2 pairs. That looked like something shifted around there in the queue that production queue there that threw me off. The drone is scouting around, getting all that juicy details about what is going on here. We have the 3 zealots now out for Purple Wave, and they're going to be pressing forward. Meanwhile, a Zergling taking the other bridge, squeaking past, but another zealot will pop out here and is actually chasing the drone instead of being worried about the Zergling. Zergling takes a couple of hits and will start wailing away at the assimilator. And not being challenged, actually, the zealots there going after the drone. Meanwhile, we have the couple zealots here coming in, but they will be repelled with the sunk colony and the Zerglings that are there. The Zergling that was hitting away at that is the cybernetics core, still taking some shots off on the buildings as the zealots are basically chasing down, but there is a dragon coming out. Actually, now the Zergling gets chased out, but will come back, and maybe it looks like it's taking some shots, but is back to full health. But with the Dragoon out now, that drone will fall, and so will the Zergling. Okay. I was about to have to give that Zergling a nickname if it stayed alive any longer. But now we have another Zergling coming up here trying to see if it can continue to scout. It will squeak past the units there and make its way towards the main, almost making it in. We've got Hydra Tech coming out here. We've got a 3rd hatchery coming down. 4 monster. But Purple Wave able to position pretty aggressively and actually diving in on an Overlord there with the Corsair. Finding a spot where it can actually take this Overlord out before any Hydralisk can do anything to it. And Monster trying to fight across this bridge here. And the choke point working both for Purple Wave and for Monster. Whereas the Zerglings really couldn't get a lot of surface area to hit the Zealots. The Zealots couldn't shoot through the Zerglings fast enough to really get to the Hydralisks, and the Hydralisks using those Zerglings as a shield here, which is what you want to do with your ranged units. Have the melee units sit up front to soak up the damage. We've got a couple of Corsairs diving in, looking for Overlords, but all the Overlords are at the natural. And now Purple Wave's army being pushed back here. Dark Templar are about to come out, though, and I don't know if we have... Yeah, we don't have the Overlord speed just yet, so these Dark Templars should be able to be used defensively here. And actually, most of the army of Purple Wave has fallen. It's just these Dark Templar, and as soon as the Dark Templar come out, these Hydralisks are running away here now. They're going to wait and see if these do chase, and they will give some chase here. I don't think... Overlord speed still not being researched just yet. Although that might be actually because there was no lair. The lair is on the way now. So Monster's gonna have to pretty much... Oh no, Overlord can't lose these. There's... Oh no, the Overlord. The Dark Templar get a little too close to the slow Overlords there, and Dark Templar count is cut in half. Oh, and now it's completely gone. So there's another one in production though, but... Yeah, that really hurts to lose that while those Overlords are still slow. Observer on the way though. So if there's any lurkers that come out later, the wave will be okay. There's another second Dark Templar coming out. Overlord speed is over halfway done, about 3/4, so almost here now. Dark Templar trying to do what it can, but this Overlord is able to be a bit forward, albeit it is slow. Its speed should kick in any moment now. Any moment. Okay, and now it kicks in and promptly gets attacked by Corsairs. But, and that Overlord speed is here now. Monster coming back to defend the Overlord from these Corsairs, but yeah, there are no upgrades, no research being done for... Actually, wait, no research. Oh, that means no Storm. There were some High Templars made. They morphed into Archons there right away, so... PvZ without Storm going to be extremely difficult to do, though. And especially with no Reavers, like, no splash at all of any kind against the ground units. There is a probe here that was kind of waiting to make a nexus, but there is a burrowed Zergling in the way, and the observers are over there dancing. They can see it, but the probe was not attacking that Zergling. And the army of Purple Wave is more interested in fighting with the army of Monster than trying to clear that Zergling, so that may be a bit of an issue for Purple Wave. Monster still just on the 2 bases. Worker counts only 27. Monster able to do a good job here. I feel like if Purple Wave did get, like, at least Storm, it'd probably be in a much better position here. I like the concave, or the arc there that Purple Wave had. It's very, very cool to see. But Monster just going around, going to a different way. This third is getting started here for Purple Wave. It's about 3/4 of the way done. There are Hydralisks in the natural now. I think Purple Wave might be able to clean this up, but now Purple Wave actually is in that awkward position. They have to fight through the choke to get into the natural. It's bleeding a lot of Dragoons that keep coming down from the main. And the Zealots are not really wanting to engage, and I think it's a bit of a problem here is that the Purple Wave's army is being a bit too shy. It looks like there's also a trapped Archon in the way, and now Purple Wave's army just dives in and slaughters the Zerg army, but I think it could have done that a little bit sooner and with a lot fewer losses, and would have come out better for it. No real production going on right now for Purple Wave, perhaps saving these minerals for yet another expansion. Okay, that Archon, it looks like, was not actually stuck, was able to get out just by going around those pylons. May have just been a small pathing issue then. Monster going ahead and taking its third, and actually this third got wiped out at some point during that fight there in the natural, so Purple Wave just down to 1 mining base, and now we've got Mutalisk switch happening here. There's only 3 Corsairs for Purple Wave out right now. Yeah, I think Purple Wave is just kind of getting stuck here because the amount of income that it has is rather slow due to just the 1 mining base, and it's saved up the money to take a 3rd base. So it doesn't want to spend below... Oh, it's actually getting a 2nd Stargate now to help with Corsair production. Yeah, it's just not going to have the money to sustain this. And so I think Purple Wave's mention of that bug that prevents it from getting upgrades really hurting it here. Because first of all, you know, you're still at 1 or 0, 0, 0, and just really the lack of storms. But even without abilities, like, this is a really good showing. Just pretty decent, pretty good army control. I would have liked to have seen a dive on this Zerg army when it was in the natural a little bit faster. It's still pretty good performance here by Purple Wave. Now it's decided, okay, it's time to spend my money. It got a bunch of High Templars that all it can really do is morph into Archons. Because again, the Storm is not researched, and here the Archons are trying to join in with the army. Now, Archons can absolutely wreck Mutalisks if it's able to get under them. But here we have Monster getting the numbers that it wants to just kind of push into the natural. Purple Wave's army tripping over itself, dancing all the way over the Nexus there. I think this is going to be the death throes here for Purple Wave in this game. Monster's going to go ahead and march into the natural here. March up into main. Meanwhile, Monster has expanded a few more times here during this. It expanded over here, it expanded up here, now it's expanding on this high ground base here. So very good performance there by Monster, getting its, let's see, it's currently at, it's getting plus their carapace right now. I don't think it actually upgraded attack. I think that's range and speed. That is Zergling attack speed and movement speed. Yeah, it did get air, or it was getting air carapace and ultralisk armor, it looks like. Yeah, I don't see ground missile attack, but very cool play. But yeah, like, if you're playing Protoss, you pretty much need to get Storm against Zerg. But Monster does have very excellent Storm dodging, so in AI world, that may not have been that big of a difference to not get Storm. But that was our 2nd game of today that was recommended, so let's go ahead and get into the next recommended game. Alright, so got a little bit of a story here behind what we're watching right now. So a new version of BWAI dropped, and this fixes issues with Crazio. So we have Crazio in this one, spawning as the white Terran up at the top left. Let me introduce the AIs real quick. Crazio, white Terran up at the top left. Nightcat T, brown Terran up at the top middle. We have TSC Mu P, teal Protoss in the top right. Then we've got Nightcat P as the red Protoss over on the right side. We have TSC Mu Z as the yellow Zerg down in the bottom right. Down in the bottom middle, we have TSC Mu. Bottom left, orange Zerg is Zerg Hell. Over on the left side, last but not least, we have in the purple Protoss yet again, Purple Wave. So, bit of the story, so new version of BWAI. Shotgun dropped. Crazio works with it, so we've got Crazio in the mix now. I ran this game, I decided, I'm going to keep all the other AIs the same because I know they work. I replaced Steamhammer with Crazio because since Steamhammer doesn't work, or, well, I shouldn't, it's not that it's Steamhammer's fault, Steamhammer just isn't designed. Actually, hold on one second. This is like, I think the sound, I don't know if the sound volume level is actually adjusting when I'm adjusting it for my Chrome right now, so let me just turn that down a little bit, because these tank sounds were super loud in my ear. But yeah. So also I apologize if the sound balance is a little bit off this week. In editing, it seems like the game sounds were like maybe a little too high. Like I said, I think Chrome's not respecting my volume choice, but whatever. But yeah, so I ran this game. Started it, I think, like around midnight or 1 a.m. or something like that. And it was like, 1:30, 2 a.m., again, kind of late. Only a few AIs had been eliminated, so I was like, okay, I'll go to bed, I'll let it run overnight. And then from there, I should have something I could finish the cast off with tomorrow. We'll do one more recommended game, and then we'll do the FFA. Well, this game was still running. This game has been running for over 8 hours. Now, that doesn't mean the game length itself is actually 8 hours. But yeah. So, I prematurely ended it so that I would get a replay. And we're going to watch this rather sped up here. I'll start talking about the game soon. We have Zerg Hell making a push up into this top middle. But yeah, so right now none of the players have been eliminated yet, really, except Nightcat P. Nightcat P just seems to kind of flounder in these situations. Still alive a little bit, but is getting killed off here. TSC Mu P is long distance mining from the natural base for whatever reason. Crazio P is mining up here and actually has kind of pushed Nightcat T back and seems to be taking charge here. We've got TSC Mu trying to make a push onto Purple Wave, who has their carriers already at the 15-minute mark. That's another thing. We're watching this at 4x right now because this is ridiculously long. The last replay I had before I decided to call things was at like the 50-minute mark, so we're gonna watch this at 4x for a bit. Chances are, because we're already like 20 minutes when I started this game into the cast, we may just like go as fast as possible and just kind of observe it. So this is on BGH, so I don't know if this game gets to like a mine out situation or if the AIs just refuse to fight after a certain point. I'm very curious about what exactly happens here. Zerg Hell is mostly being left alone though. Nightcat P has been eliminated. TSC Mu P trying to expand down here, but now Crazio rather pushing up into TSC Mu P and Nightcat T. So Crazio fighting a war on two fronts here, and appears to be winning. TSC Mu and TSC Mu Z are fighting over the middle here. Purple Wave is being cautious with its carriers here. So on the upgrade tab there, not the production tab, sorry about that, but yeah, let's take a look at the army tab, because that's probably a bit more interesting in terms of like who has what and everything. Zerg Hell's production, because it only is taking the one gas, is struggling because it's going for that pure hydro production. There's a queen out for TSC Mu Z, that's pretty interesting. There are a lot of turrets for Crazy. What? Let me move this over real quick here. Look at all of these turrets. Oh my, that is a lot of turrets there. So, try to get this back in place now, as the war is just continuing on, right? I think this might be, yeah, grab up a little bit higher. That's an easier move. Shift that around. So Nightcats, he's been almost eliminated. There's one factory left, apparently. TSC Moo P seems to be held back a little bit. TSC Moo right now is taking over the center with turrets. And we've got Purple Wave trying to make headway here. Crazio is also extending down a bit into this main, and so the Dragoons are falling due to the tanks. We've got Goliath fighting back, so the carriers do fall back now. Zerg is making a push, but Zerg has 0 upgrades in terms of attack and armor, so that falls very quickly. Crazio only at 1-1 though. I don't know if Crazio has... Queens are coming out. We've got Ensnare happening here on the Dragoons and the carriers, and we've got some Elists. Actually, TSC Moo Z making a strong push here to the middle. TSC Moo P trying to make a move out as well down here. TSC Moo Z also trying to take this Nightcat P's old natural here, but it looks like the middle is gonna fall. There's a strong presence from TSC Moo P and Crazio. TSC Moo P pushing Crazio back there. They're actually pushing into this middle base here of Crazio. We've got a pretty strong Scourge Force out as well. It looks like Arbiter Tech out now for Purple Wave. Zerg making another push up towards that top middle, but quickly getting cleaned up there. TSC Moo Z's holding the center a bit longer. It looks like TSC Moo itself is kind of pulling up in its base. It's at like 143 supply right now. It seems to be a little bit gas starved off just the 2 gases, since instead of expanding here, it's just built some more infrastructure. Crazio P actually did end up expanding here to its natural, so that's pretty cool to see. Worker count 73, pretty darn healthy there. Nice worker count right now. And seems to be the best at taking bases, although TSC Moo Z is doing a pretty good job too, because it has taken its natural. It was trying to take this middle base, which that hatchery is somehow still alive there. It was trying to take this one, so some credit to TSC Moo Z there. Oh, and TSC Moo making a move out here, and a huge fight going on between the carriers and the Goliaths of TSC Moo, but Crazio also making a move here into the center at about the same time. The carrier forces of Purple Wave are falling here slowly. Purple Wave down to 8 carriers with the 2 Arbiters here. Scans continuing to go down to see those cloaked units. It looks like TSC Moo Z has lost the center, and now TSC Moo is trying to take it. The SCV getting picked off there by Crazio's Vulture. Trying to keep an eye on supplies as well. Crazio and Purple Wave staying pretty high consistently. The others a little bit lower. TSC Moo now down to 100 supply. TSC Moo Z is doing pretty good as well, around 150. TSC Moop is at 150 as well, but TSC Moop's actually been pushed back all the way to its main. Space here I think is going to be lost to TSC Moo Z, and Crazio has taken TSC Moo P's natural here. There's a lot of shield batteries here, which is kind of interesting. I don't think I've seen that before. Yeah, TSC Moo P not exactly sure how to approach this, but it is still just spending its money. Now it looks like it actually is kind of pushing into here. Go down to 2x a little bit. So yeah, it doesn't look choppy because of my recording. It looks a little bit choppy because we were running at 4 times speed. Blue Spider Mine almost taking some units out there. TSC Moo P pushing back out here. We're going to go back up to 4x. Just because of the length of this game, again, that's the reason why I'm running it at this speed. Because, I mean, I told you how long this game was running before I just went and called it. So we'll see what the state of the game is at the end, if we can even get there. I mean, I'm kind of going to watch the recording time here. I have a feeling this is going to be the last game that we're going to do, but if we start getting close to the hour mark, we might just jump to the fastest speed that this baby can run. And, we will see what the game state looks like at the end. But TCMU-Z getting pushed back. TCMU-P is pushing TCMU-Z back while Crazio is like trying to march for here. Uh-oh. Oh no. Did I drag? I think I dragged a thing. Oh yeah, I messed it up. Hold on. We are at... Okay. We will be right back. Alright, I've got us back to where we were. So I had accidentally clicked and dragged one of these icons onto this, which like messes up the replay viewer. So I fast forwarded as fast as I could back to where I accidentally froze things, and so we're back at the action here. Sorry about that. I try to avoid doing that, especially a replay like this that is extra long. But here we have Crazio pushing into TSC-Mu-P. I think TSC-Mu-P, all of this infrastructure getting destroyed, is not going to be able to come back from this. So Crazio claiming essentially the top half of the map here. Meanwhile, there is a bit of fighting here. Purple Wave trying to fight into that middle there, but not really making a lot of headway. Crazio's main army, though, is focused on taking out TSC-Mu-P at the moment. Another attack wave from Zerg being repelled here as the Goliaths are forced to dance on each other there. Kind of wonder how if this would even work in remaster. I might just try and see. There are so many Scourge. Why are there 61 Scourge for TSC-Mu-Z and they're not? They just went to their death over. I guess TSC-Mu was like, you know what? Yeah, okay, 61 Scourge. Yeah, that's a lot. I'll send half of them to just die to Goliaths. Okay, so TSC-Mu-P is pretty much destroyed. The remnants of that base Crazio is building into. Now Crazio is pushing into Purple Wave space here. TSC-Mu-P hasn't like left the game quite yet. But now Crazio is actually pushing Purple Wave back here. Okay, so now TSC-Mu-P leaves, so they are eliminated. Our third AI is gone from the game. Crazio is looking crazy strong here, pushing the carriers of Purple Wave. There's 9 of them, and they just do not want to engage with this force from Crazio here. Let's take a quick look at the upgrades if we can. Looks like, yeah, 3 weapons in air armor is upgraded, so they are 3-3, but so are, I think, is Crazio's ground army. Even got infantry upgrades at the moment, even though, yeah, it's starting to mix in some M&Ms here, so pretty interesting to see that. Another wave from Zerg coming out here. TSC-Mu has kind of turtled into its base here, floating a factory. Well, we have a stasis here, but it looks like Purple Wave taken out of contention here. It still has this carrier force that's just like kind of going around more aggressive now. Crazio expanding into Purple Wave space. TSC-Mu-Z trying to take the center again here. And TSC-Mu-Z now actually pushing up into the top right of Crazio. It's a pretty strong force here. Crazio's army is actually kind of gunked up here at this factory. And that is allowing the carriers of Purple Wave to sort of run free here, and TSC-Mu-Z to put on some damage here. TSC-Mu-Z trying to hold the center as well. TSC-Mu is kind of held up in its own base too. Dark Swarms coming down now for TSC-Mu-Z. Yeah, Crazio like can't get its units out to where it wants to get them. Probably just slow us down the ones we were. We got this unit tornado going on here. There's an optical flare that went off somewhere. Off something, I don't know what, but something got blinded. Another Zerg wave just comes up to just get crushed by the mech very quickly. Plague goes down from TSC. It looks like some units from Crazio are starting to sort of trickle out here. Usage of a dropship to get out. A couple of Zerglings causing some problems here in this top right, but the top right seems to have stabilized a little bit here. TSC really spending its money. I mean, it's got a lot of macro hatches, which is really cool to see. Keeps trying to push up into that top right. Purple Wave's still not eliminated, actually, because it's got these buildings here that Crazio doesn't seem interested in killing at the moment. So we're just down to 4 AIs, basically, here. There's an irradiate down. Crazio taking another base here. Slowly just taking more and more territory. But no one seems to really be able to make much headway at the moment. Except for Crazy, who's like slowly taking over more and more space. TC Muzi's army seems to have just stopped. Interesting. Everybody has just stopped. Maybe that is why this game actually carried on for as long as it did. We have the dancing tank here, though. Actually, everybody except for Purple Wave just stopped at, like, the hour mark. I don't know what orders Purple Wave is issuing with its gateway and its pylon. They're still active in the game. Like, they're still actually players because they're still, like, mining and everything, so... It's like they just signed an armistice or a peace treaty or something, and it's just like, ceasefire. Like, yeah. We'll just chill out now. It's so strange, like, the sounds of unit deaths has just stopped. This tank is celebrating in joy that it's not going to die by just doing donuts there. Oh. I think those guys just kind of wandered over there. That's so weird. Why did the APMs all just drop to 0 at the same moment for like all of the AIs? What broke? That's so strange. The only one that didn't break is the Java bot. Purple Wave. Which is actually done in Scala, but runs in Java. Like, does anything happen for the rest of this? What happened? Well, I guess that is the free-for-all. Crazio was in a pretty decided lead here, but very, very, very strange end. Purple Wave spamming that 108 to 120 APM. It's probably setting like a rally on this or something. It just keeps changing that rally point or setting it every frame. Wow, this is just weird that this happened. Alright, well, I guess I have time for one more recommended game, so I guess we'll call this a draw with Crazio having a strong lead. And I'll see you in the next recommended game. So some emergency vehicles are going by. I apologize if you hear some sirens in the background. We have the last game of today, which was recommended. We have Eggbot spawning as the blue Protoss down at the bottom of Roadrunner, and up at the top we have a new AI to the scene called Infested Artosis. I don't really know much about Infested Artosis. I don't think I've seen any games from it. So excited to see what it will do here. And yeah, I don't think that replay of the free-for-all broke. I think something else went weird, because like right at the hour mark and like just every AI except Purple Wave just stopped. So like they were still live in the game, they were still connected. So I'm not sure like what exactly happened there. If we get any answers, I'll let you know. But I have no idea what happened there. So we've got, it looks like gas, then pool. We've got, should get the production tab up here. Bring that back down here. So we've got a sunken colony being made, and it looks like the probe was Eggbot trying to do like a cannon rush? Okay, so Infested Artosis finds this pylon, will dive down on it, clears it out. Eggbot tries to start another pylon. And now its Nexus is going to get found here. Okay, so now Infested Artosis 2 hatches in the main. Kills the Nexus. Eggbot has no workers. Is it not gonna be able to find Eggbot's buildings or something? I'm guessing that's it. It's gonna keep dancing. It's gonna produce more and more units and keep dancing between these two star locations, isn't it? Alright, let's speed this up. I mean, it looks pretty groovy on the mini-map, I will say. It's 16 times here. Oh boy. Y'all have some silly recommendations. Oh, wait, we converged here now on this base. Now we can see both bases the same. Oh, because it's got vision of this, so it wasn't going down there. Now it's got vision of this, and it's got vision of this. Now what's it gonna do? Some of its drones are sitting idle as well, like... It's not expanding. Alrighty. That pylon, and this forge. Alright. So I guess that's going to be today's cast. Quite an interesting end to it here. I don't really have words at the moment, but I want to thank everybody for tuning in. There are links in the description below to the SSCAIT website, a few other places as well. We appreciate you watching each week that we put these out. We do appreciate the support. There is also the Patreon if you'd like to contribute via that. The way that the free-for-all broke, and then this, I think my brain is just broken. So I'm going to sign out. This has been Nightcat. Thank you so much for hanging out, tuning into this cast. We'll catch you next time. Until then, take care, everybody.